him out.
Of course.
But what are you going to get him out on? What I think they're trying to do is force him to sell, get him to sell on his own accord, because I don't think there's anything that's going to be dug up that provides a smoking gun. We have not seen that yet. We have not heard that yet. Nothing that has
I think
come.
they probably got it in their back pocket. You know, they didn't let that Wilkinson report out or anything like that. They did find the living shit out of him, and he did accept it. They did tell him to go away for a while, and he did accept it. So I think that they do. But I also, well, I mean, he sort of went away.
He
paid the fine. He didn't say a word about that.
But
now, here's the thing.
He made it a point to put out a press release from his lawyers saying that I am not, this wasn't a fine to me. This is a fine for the team, and that he was not suspended.
Look, so nowadays, if you've got enough money, you can tell people that you don't have. I'm sorry, I just do not breathe the air. No, I've never breathed in my life, and people will have to believe you, or they'll just say it long enough to believe it. So, Andy, we're talking about Dan Snyder and Jim Irsay. How you doing? By the way, Andy Burrows, our friend from the UK, who's all dark right now because he doesn't have a light.
And the host of the Command Bunker. What's going on, Andy? Bunker.
How are you, boys? You good? Sorry for the terrible lighting. I feel like I'm in a bunker right now, but yeah, I'm good, man. How are you?
It is like 3 o'clock in the morning, right?
No, it's 10 o'clock at night. 10 o'clock at night.
Okay.
Right.
Well, damn, I was hoping it was later because all those messages y'all send, waking me up at 3 o'clock in the morning on our group chat from the UK.
Yeah, God bless the mute button, eh?
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's what Dan Snyder was trying to say about Jim Irsay. God bless the mute button. Look at the idiot. I would have never done anything like that. Listen to the pill popper. He's just a moron. Don't believe him. I wouldn't believe a word he says. That was his response, basically, right?
And listen, Andy, we're talking about, the stuff with, what happened with Jim Irsay.
The owners meeting, right?
The owners meeting. Mm-hmm. And before you came on, I came out and said that I don't think this is that big of a deal that a lot of people are making it
a little bit.
It tells me that yes, the owners want him out, but I just think they're trying to force. They want him to sell. I don't think they're going to get him off on some legality. I don't think there's a smoking gun. Andy, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I'm probably not the best person to ask about Dan Snyder after my Twitter.
But you're the one that's here.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm with Jesse. I mean, and you to an extent, John. It's moved the needle a little bit, but it's nothing that we haven't heard like a million times before. I mean, if I had a pound for every time that I've heard that Dan Snyder might be getting kicked out of the league, then I could probably buy season tickets and fly over for every game. It's one of those ones. Look, right. we all want it to happen. Look, we all know that the man is a terrible owner. He's not a very nice person. Yada yada. We all know this. I'm preaching to the choir here. In my opinion, is he ever going to leave Washington as owner? Not anytime soon, I don't think, unfortunately. If he does, I mean, I think it's going to go to his wife. And then apparently the Snyder name, apparently there's something that it's going to be passed to his wife, for Tanya. Then it's going to be passed to his kids and then his kids' kids. Apparently that is written somewhere in some like lockdown kick-ass contract that the Snyder family are going to be involved in the Washington franchise for years and years to come. So I'd love the dude not to be there tomorrow. I'd love to wake up and hear the news that Roger Goodell has kicked him out and all the owners have voted for him. Yes, I would love to hear that. Mm-hmm. Is it gonna happen?
No, not yet.
Probably not. But the Colts. I mean, the Colts owner coming out and it's a bit pot and kettle. I mean, that dude's got his own issues going on. I mean,
they all do. They all do.
That's the problem.
I've seen some arguments both ways on was Jim Irsay the right person to come out and do this?
Yes,
and
he was.
And you think you think about it, you know what? He's got all his skeletons are out in the open,
right?
And he's like, yeah, investigate me, come the fuck on.
They said, Jim, go stick your toe in the water and see what happens. Whatever happens, you can always say I was addicted to painkillers. I don't remember.
And that's why I think this is a move by the owners of trying to force Dan's hand and trying to get him to sell on his own, because I seriously don't think this Mary Jo White investigation is going to dig up anything that we don't already know. And what we've already know is it hasn't been enough for him to get a vote.
Sorry, excuse me, please. But
and
I
that's
just wanted
another
to
person.
say-
I'm glad Jerry came up, because Jerry Jones, you still seem like you have Mr. Snyder's back.
Well, it's not a matter of I have his back. It's just that he knows what I've done in the past. And I'm going to tell you something right now. I had nothing to do with all of those women, and I had nothing to do with all of those young men either. But I think if those pictures are put out in the public, well, enough people will believe them that I think that it could cause me a little bit of a ruffle. I just wanted to say that y'all are 100% correct. We know that Jimmy is a good old boy, but he is a pill-popping, addle-headed fool. And if we get him to say something, he'll go out there. He'll do the old put my fingers in my ears and stand around the field till I find a landmine. That's what he'll do. We'll find out what Danny does to him, and then we'll get us a good look at what we're going to do about getting him on out of here. He don't make no money for anybody, for crying out loud. If you want to have something that makes money, you need the Dallas Cowboys. And if you go right now over to DallasCowboyShop.com and you type in the promo code, "What was Dan doing in London?" I'll send you a t-shirt that will prove that he was paying Andy Burrows a pound every time that he was told he was thrown out of the league.
And Jerry even, come saying, it's more of a media thing than it is an ownership thing. That's got to tell me, because Jerry has his hands on the league.
That's the easy thing to say now. I'm telling you, these are the rich people go-tos. I didn't do that. Yeah, whatever. We got video of you doing it. Yeah, but that's not me. They just lie like a motherfucker, and everybody just goes, "Oh, okay." What are you gonna do?
I had my hopes up before. I'm not doing it. I'm not falling for the shit again. I don't believe it. I'm not gonna believe it until maybe in March, when the next owners meeting it comes up and they're going to vote. Then maybe you might have my hopes up. But until then, no, it's not going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen right now. But when I say it moved the needle a little bit, I don't mean just with me. I think that once that needle moves with the owners, it doesn't go back down to where it used to be. It moved up to here, and now it's going to stay here. If it moved up to here, it's going to stay there. I think you made a point. They're just looking for how. They're looking for how.
They want him gone. They want him gone. But how can they do it without without the curtains going up on their glass houses? Because it's exactly, because there's dirt out there, whether Dan has it or not. They just don't want it to. They don't want their skeletons to be brought out into the light.
Look, I'm not telling you nothing that you don't already know, but my ship is all outfitted with anti-aircraft guns. Next time he flies over to London, you just give me the word. I'll make sure that we're sitting over there in the North Atlantic and we put his ass down.
Oh dear. The thing is, right? If the league wants something bad enough, they can make it happen. That's the thing that gripes me a little bit. Yeah,
they never got Al Davis out, right?
Yeah, exactly. So they've done that. Our name got changed. Everything can happen, and Dan and all this. Dan's got dirt on this person and that person. Yeah. I mean, I've heard that 1,000 times. If the league wanted this badly enough, so this is what makes me question: do they really want him gone? And why are they not? Why have they not done it? Because Dan Snyder could turn Supergrass and and tell
burn the place down.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. They're trying to get him to do it on his own.
Yeah, and that's the point I'm going to make. He's never ever going to quit on his own. Never. He's probably happy right now, in air quotes here, doing what he's doing, looking for a new stadium, or
he could probably get
sailing through the Mediterranean.
$7 billion. He could probably get close to $7 billion if he sold today, but he doesn't want it. He doesn't care about it. He doesn't care about it.
He doesn't, and that's the thing. I mean, obviously, you all saw the tweet I put out the other day about and it comes back to the fans, like literally blaming the ownership for everything, and it comes back. Everything does come back to him eventually. But I'm kind of like with you, Jesse, as well. I'm sick and deaf. I've heard it 1,000 times. You know what I mean? I'd rather concentrate on why we've got such poor coaches this season, or why we're not making certain things happen on our roster right now. But don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I'd love to wake up tomorrow morning and hear that Dan Snyder isn't our owner. But on the flip side of that, he won't be our owner, but his wife will be. Or his children will be. This family are going to be involved in this organization.
He'll stay proxy owner behind
100%.
Yeah, now you did say some roster moves.
It wouldn't it wouldn't move the needle for me if it had to be transferred over to Tanya. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
that's not enough. That's not
No,
enough.
he's still going to be there.
It technically already has been transferred over to her, really, all
Right,
in
yeah.
but name. She's the face. We were at FedEx Week 1. She's the face of everything. She's out meeting the fans. The old
Did you
adage
see her
of
face? I
take
didn't
it.
see her face.
Yeah, I met her briefly.
She had some nice shoes. I saw that.
It's the old adage of taking pictures and kissing babies. They're like, when the president goes around trying to do their campaign thing, trying to get people on side.
Yeah.
She's trying to do that now, but unfortunately, she'll always be known as Dan Snyder's wife.
Well, she is. That's the thing.
But yeah,
she is. That's what she is.
But no matter what she does, where she goes, I've heard Keith speak about her. I've spoke to him about this when I was over there, and he's told me some great things that she's done for this organization.
Sure.
But to my point is,
she's done some great things for the NFL. The Think Pink campaign
she could do tremendous things every day for the rest of her life.
But it won't matter.
It won't matter because who she's married to.
You know what? The thing is this. It's because of it's not about her at that point. All right. She's going to be doing great things. And we'll all talk about her just like we are right now. Wow, she does some really great things. However, we know that Dan Snyder is still pulling the strings of that football team, and that's why we care.
Yeah. Now,
that's what we'll be worried about. Now,
that's how the Carson Wentz rumor come out.
Just to let you know, Andy, Keith, he'll never say a bad word about anybody. I said Vladimir Putin's a big fucking bully on here one day, and he was like, John. I swear to God, that guy right now, you know where he is. He's not here right now.
Yeah, where is that big oaf today?
He is standing in line to get his picture taken with a guy that knows Taylor Heineke.
Oh,
yeah. Yep. Guy went to college with him, Steve.
Now, if say the league awarded Tanya with the team, and then she turns around and divorces Dan's punk ass, now that
would be fun.
I'd be okay with.
Now, I said on this show last year, nothing's going to happen to Dan because of what he's going to do to them. The sexual stuff, they all have that shit in their closets. And of course, now he's got a dossier on everybody. He's got a file on everybody, which is anybody surprised by this? Anybody? No. If you are,
if this is true, which I think I would say yes, it is. Of
course it's true.
I would say yeah.
Yeah. So I forgot my point entirely. Dan Snyder's an asshole. How about that?
Let's move on. I'm tired of talking about that scumbag.
Yeah, fuck him. That's right. So anyway, welcome to the show, Andy. How's things going over in the UK?
Yeah, cold, wet, miserable. Just normal day in England, my friend. But yes, it's
cheerio.
Cheerio, chaps. But, it's all good, brother. It's all good. I'm looking forward to Sunday's game.
Gonna have some boiled liver.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had boiled liver in my entire fucking life.
Anyway, I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna be at the game.
That's right.
Yeah, so I'm kind of excited about it.
That's cool. I'll tell you what, hang around close to Keith because he is international television sensation. Yeah. Andy, you've seen Keith on television, right?
I've quite a big TV in my house.
There you go.
And it's been taken up by that ugly mug. Yeah,
there you go.
I've screenshot. I put Halloween's in a couple of weeks. I've already got my mask down.
You can tell his head's getting bigger and bigger and bigger every time they show his mug on TV. You can see his head just inflating.
It's true. You can see the people behind him are having to lean even further to see what the fuck is going on. But that's why we call him international television sensation. Keith Gray, we're proud to have him as part of the show, even though today he is getting his nose powdered for his big appearance.
He's a good man.
Game. That's right. Let's hope this week he has a smile on his face instead of his usual, what the fuck are we doing out there now? So, all right, let's get to this game. Okay. Carson,
well, it's the second big news of the week.
Oh, please go ahead.
Carson Wentz.
Yes, of course.
He broke his finger.
And he threw the best pass of his night after he broke his finger.
It was, and it was dropped. Yeah. But we got a new quarterback. We got a new QB1. And Heineke's back.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I'm okay.
I think. Listen, okay. So in the beginning, we kind of teased of why I think we're going to win this game, and because of the QB.
This is the shocking part, Andy.
Yeah,
be ready to be shocked.
I'm ready.
Many people who have listened to this podcast knows my feelings on Taylor Heineke. Not a fan.
No, but you'd sleep with him.
He slept with a bunch of English guys, so why not Taylor Heineke?
That's true. That's true.
say it's
This
the
is a
crop
true
dust.
story right there. True story. Crop dust capital of the world.
The minute it came out.
What happened, Scotty?
Degrees, now it's 90 over here. Hot, sticky air from my ass. Oh, fuck, my aunt, she better shut that. That's what they say you fucking sick. Oh, fuck, you killed him, literally?
Scotty, you okay?
Yeah, man.
What happened?
I just chewed his fart, man, straight in my face. Oh, it just... That seems like a missile. You're recording me, man. Go straight for your nose.
All right. So for those who don't know, Andy Burroughs, our friend here, is the most lethal motherfucker on both sides of the Atlantic.
I blame the chili fries at Theismann's, man. 2 nights running. They should be on like TripAdvisor. Don't go there and have the chili fries 2 nights running. But I probably haven't laughed that much in years.
Yeah,
that whole weekend was one big giggle.
It was definitely a great time. Taylor Heineke, I think for a few reasons, I think he's going to play well enough to win this game. Now, should he be going the quarterback going forward? Probably not. We'll see how he plays.
A couple of weeks.
A couple. He's going to have to be a couple of weeks. I know there's an argument between him and the rookie, but this is a non-starter. That's a non-starter. It's just way too early in the season for that. And anybody who thinks that he should play, no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But I think Heineke knows his offense up and down, back and forth, and I think he's going to give a little shot to this offense. Are they going to be great? No, they're not. But I think they are going to be better just because of how well he knows this offense. He's got a really, really good rapport with Terry McLaurin. I mean, that's all he threw the ball to last year.
That's all he had to throw the ball.
That's all he had to throw the ball last year. You know, what really sucks is Jahan Dotson tweaking his hamstring again. Now he is listed as questionable, but
that's because these fools rushed him back too quick.
He's not going to play.
Soft tissues injuries are
hammies,
funny,
especially.
It's very, very easy to tweak again. Very easy. I don't think it's about rushing. It wasn't supposedly bad in the first place whatsoever.
I done mine and I was out for 6 weeks.
The degree of it is also
these fools are making him run routes after how many? What, a week and a half, 2 weeks?
Listen,
you don't need to be.
I don't think anybody's making him do anything. It's the doctors, man. I mean,
yeah, man. But come on, man. You have this really, really pissed me off when I saw this when he's injured again, because I'm like, why is this guy even on a football field? Back. Thank you. You don't even need to make him run routes, do anything like that. Give him another 2 weeks at least, even if you've tweaked your hamstring. I've been involved in, and I know people involved in sports science. I've been involved in soccer my whole life. If you've tweaked your hamstring, the minimum you should be sitting out is 3 to 4 weeks. And that's if you've tweaked it. Because if that goes again, and it's not like they're doing warm weather training right now, it's freezing fucking cold over there in Ashburn, so that's not helping. This one for me, and I was furious when I saw that he might be injured again. For me, that's on the medical staff and the coaching staff. And I saw a lot of people commenting saying, why the hell is this guy even on the football field right now?
Well, I always say, what the fuck is a tweak? Last year, tweak kept Samuel out from fucking April throughout the entire season. And every time they turned around, we'd see him run 3 plays every other month and a half. And he'd think, and then he tweaked it. What the fuck is a tweak? And why does a tweak take so damn long? I think there is something to it that maybe they do try to overdo it a little bit, but I think there's also a lot of pressure on a lot of people to try to come back. They're young. And you remember being 22 years old, man, and nothing can hurt you. Nothing can fucking hurt you. You can go out. And if you don't feel it in the morning, fine, I'll go out and run this afternoon. So I hate the word tweak. I don't know what the fuck it means. I don't know how severe that is, because it can be just, owie. Or it can be, oh, fuck, this guy's going to be out for the whole goddamn year because he tweaked his groin.
But that tweak could turn into something bigger. If you rush them back and something happens, say for argument's sake that we put Chase Young on the field for argument's sake, I know it's not going to happen, but say you put him on the field this weekend, and say we rush him back in the next 2 weeks. Say he's playing in a couple of weeks' time, and he quote unquote tweaks it again. He'll be out for the rest of the season. I understand it's a bit different in the NFL. There's a lot of money involved. You get paid per catch. You get paid for the amount of yards you might run. You get paid for the amount of touchdowns you might score. Sure. So obviously he wants to be back in the team. But, for such a valuable player at this stage of the season, we want him fully fit. I'd rather have rested him for another week and gone again a week Sunday when we play again. But again, it's just stupidity that lets this organization down.
Listen, I'm not upset about the situation, the injury situation. Everybody's different. Everybody's different when it comes to injuries. It was a slight pull, so-called slight pull. Everybody's different.
They said, "Get the hell out of there."
Everybody heals differently.
Sorry.
We were upset about the past 5 years. We've been, down on the medical team. We've been bitching about the medical team. For good reason. Yeah.
Because they're shit.
Okay. So we've gotten a new staff. Injuries are unpredictable, man. So for me,
happen or they don't.
Personally, this happens all over the NFL. People get tweaks. They get slight pulls. It happens. He was out there. He was still questionable. And he was out there warming up. It didn't look like he was doing like full top-notch speed cutting. And it pulled up. He pulled up on it.
Right.
So that's and we're totally off.
Well, not really. We're talking about Heineke and how he's going to react with his new cadre of weapons that he has out there. I don't think he's going to be able to throw as deep, obviously, as Wentz. But at the same time, I think you're right. His knowledge of the offense means he'll throw it where it's supposed to go.
Yeah, that's the one thing that Wentz has more arm talent than Heineke. Okay.
Yeah, but he doesn't read. We rarely see him going through his progressions.
Yeah, but the fact that Heineke knows this offense, he knows a lot of the players on the offense that he has rapport with, that he played he played 15 games last season. I think we're going to get a little boost.
15 and three quarters.
Yeah, 15 and three quarters. There you go. I think we will see a little boost in this offense.
16 and three quarters.
For at least this week and possibly next week. I think you're going to see a little bit more flair in the offense.
I agree. And I'm sorry, and I don't mean to let me just say this real quick, but this I think historically happens whenever you look around the NFL. A lot of times the backup will come in and it sparks the offense, especially if a team is down and they have more talent than they've displayed. So what do you think of Taylor Heineke there, Mr. Burrows?
I think he gives us good and bad. I think the good is outside of when he scrambles and when he gets out of the pocket, I think he's going to be very good. We all know what we're going to get with him. As soon as Carson Wentz
very good
gets out,
he improvises well too.
As soon as Carson gets out of the pocket, he just looks like a drunk giraffe, and I'm not quite sure what's going on with him. Honestly,
wait a second. Can you pull that up, John? Can you pull up Carson Wentz, the 5-second game take? Since Andy just said that, I don't know if we still have it.
Wentz is going to keep it himself and get to the 5-yard line.
Yeah.
So, he moves like a drunk giraffe. But, so outside of the pocket, when he scrambles, it's going to be good. I hope he's learned to slide a little bit better than he did last season, or we could be seeing Sam Howell quite quickly. The deep threat is taken, but we've utilized that a few times this season. Don't get me wrong. We scored some, that is the one good thing that Carson Wentz has given us. He's, Dotson, Terry. Yeah. Look at the opening weekend of the season when we were all there, we saw it firsthand.
He hit Terry,
how good,
right.
Hit Terry in a great route. You know what I mean? Didn't have to break stride. There's going to, a lot of it's going to fall on the receivers. They're going to have to be very smart and very savvy the way they play the game this Sunday, knowing that, they could be running a route, and the ball isn't going to quite be the extra 20 yards down the field that they've been used to it over the last 4 or 5 games. So it's good and bad. I'm looking for. I think he'll give us, like Jesse. I 100% agree with Jesse here. I think he'll give us that boost and that injection that we need. Again, it's just whether how far and how long we can ride that wave of the boost and the injection. We could get through the Green Bay game. They're not very good at the minute. It might be I think I tweeted out this morning, I can see Taylor Heineke scoring 2 rushing touchdowns himself this weekend.
That'd be nice. He had 10 carries last year.
He gives us, and the one good thing he does give us is that red when we get into the red zone, the read option. I think Al Goldie was speaking about today. We want to see loads more read option with Heineke. Gives you something that can't. So he opens up a lot more options, I'd say, than
and I think,
Wentz.
Well, when he does read RPO with it and he takes off running, he's not going to look like a drunken giraffe out there with a broken ankle. He's going to be able to run. Now, see, when you say good and bad, I agree, because he does a lot of times. I was arguing with Keith about this last week. I don't care what anybody says. One of the reasons why he extends plays is because he holds the ball too long and gets himself in trouble and has to drift out of that shit or try to fucking run around and make something happen. It happens enough that it can be a problem.
But he can run around and make something happen, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, and he's going to have to with this O-line protection.
That was going to be my next point. That was going to be my next point. The offensive line, you're going to see him running, and there's going to be a lot of that. And there's probably going to be a mistake or two that's going to happen because of it. But this offensive line is not very good.
No,
and there's another reason why I think Heineke is better suited right now is because of the offensive line.
That's why I want to see a dose of Brian Robinson. I want to see a hammer, and then bring in Antonio Gibson and let him fly. I want to see a heavy dose of it. I liked last week's game plan in that we ran 28 and threw 22 passes. Now, granted, that got cut down because Wentz broke his fingers, but I want to see a more balanced attack. I don't want to see Heineke out there throwing the ball 40 times. For Christ's sakes, next week he won't be able to throw past 5 yards if he does that. Yeah, I want to see a balanced attack, 30-30, something like that. If we can run 65 to 70 plays, we should win. Right?
And we've heard from Logan Thomas and Terry McLaurin that there's a little bit more zip on the ball this year from Heineke, that he did spend the off season not necessarily working on his arm strength, but working on his throwing motion, as far as him using his hips more in the throwing motion. So
we saw maybe his shoulder all the time.
Maybe it's just the mechanics of it might help him get a little bit more zip on that ball, be able to get those out routes out there quicker. Maybe, not having those 30, 40-yard passes or not floaters that they, can be a little bit more on a line.
Some of Wentz's serious floaters, though, man.
Well, his deep balls are nice.
He had a 3rd down and 2 a couple of weeks ago, and he threw Cam Sims a rainbow that went all of about 12 yards that way and went about 30 yards up and looked like a fucking punt.
I also think we're going to be a lot better in the short game with Heineke as well.
That's all he can throw.
And Wentz can't. For some reason, he's got a killer arm, but he can't fucking throw short. He just can't do it.
He's got the touch of a great white shark. Just wham. All right, so I think that what that also brings me to is he's going to have a lot of help from Scott Turner. I am getting sick and tired of this. Let's spin a dartboard and throw a dart backwards and see which play we're going to call. I want to see a dedicated game plan, something that's setting something up. How long has it been since you've seen? Now, last week I saw evidence of this. I said it with Brian Robinson and Antonio Gibson. They set something up that later in the game they used to pay off for the way that they wanted it to do. But most of the time, their play calling just looks as haphazard as all get out. It looks like they have just really no plan whatsoever. It's like a kid playing freaking Madden. Comments, Andy Burrows.
I'm with you. I mean, Scott, he's my full name as well. Scott's got to, he's got to trust what we've got. I think I've heard a lot of Washington fans say recently, and Doc Walker says it a lot on his post game. We haven't got an identity as a team right now, and that starts from your quarterback. So and your coordinator. So can Scott Turner really needs to, like you say, John, set something up. Whether we stick all our receivers out and then we still run the ball, do something that's going to get your opposition thinking. I've said this for weeks now, and I see when you scroll through social media on a game day. I obviously, I know, Jesse, you don't do it that much anymore, but you see people that are sitting on their couch going, I could tell you the play that Washington's going to run. So if I can see it,
yes,
then for God, the Green Bay Packers are going to understand it. So we need to think outside
defense. They might
yeah,
not.
Exactly. Well, yeah, true. But we need to think outside the box a little bit. I mean, I sit here after our games finish and I watch the Patriots play, or even like I watched the Giants play over here in London a couple of weeks ago. And there's plays that they run, and you think, Jesus, that's took some work. That's took some thinking. With Washington, you're like, oh well, here comes the 2-yard dink and dunk that Carson Wentz can't actually fucking throw properly.
Right.
And,
Last week he had that really nice screen set up, and they threw it,
and he screwed it up. Yeah, he screwed it up. So, a lot of it does fall on Scott Turner, but a lot of it does come down to execution as well. We have to have the right players to execute the right plays. And unfortunately, in Washington, we haven't got many of them players.
And it all starts at the offensive line and moves back. Your offensive line can't protect. Wentz can't throw short, but what is he good at? Intermediate and long. And he's not really good at intermediate. So if you can't throw short,
he's good at long.
You throw fucking long, but you can't hold on to the ball long enough because you have your offensive line can't fucking. So you're stuck between a rock and a hard place when it comes to passing the ball. Yes, run more, but I'm sorry, the offensive line hasn't even been that great at run blocking. I think the runs that we've gotten has just been from workhorse stuff, and I would disagree with you, John. The offensive line has not been run blocking well whatsoever.
I didn't say well. I'm not going to say well, but last week Scott Norwell. I always go back to that Bills kicker that missed wide right in the Super Bowl. That name is burned in my head.
Fuck.
Right, Andrew Norwell last week graded out as one of the top players on our team because they run blocked, and you see, and it's this. This is what I think. We have a real problem in the center guard gaps.
Yes.
Right? We have a hard time. Our centers have a hard time knowing who to pick up, when to let go, when to move. So we get blown up right up the middle all the effing time. So if we're getting blown up right up off the middle because these guys can't do that, so fine, let's call it so that they can push forward a little bit. Let them deliver the blow. Some dude thinks he's just going to sell out for pass rush. Fine. Let Norwell or let Sadiq Charles punch him right in the mouth, and we're running right over top of him. I always say it this way, especially with a team like this where we're not terrific at running the ball. We're not going to jam the ball down somebody's throat for 150 yards unless we commit to do it and start to do it. All right. Run game needs to be established, which means you need to commit to it, which means if you get 2 yards, you get 3 yards. Scott Turner throws his hands up and goes, oh my God, I don't know what to do. Throw a bomb. Keep hammering. Hammer. And last week,
you can't just keep going up 2-3 yards and then punt, 2-3 yards, then punt.
No, you don't get. But see, if you get 2 or 3 yards, then it's 3rd down and 5, 3rd down and 4. You get 3rd and manageable, not 3rd and 9. One of the
third
down.
It hasn't been very manageable. It hasn't been manageable.
John, have you not seen us? Have you not seen us on 3rd down?
We're 3rd and 21 all the damn
time. It's terrible. It's fucking terrible. And also, with the penalties, and this goes to the defense as well.
It's harder to hold when you run blocking.
They kill us.
Yep.
We shoot ourselves in the foot a lot.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's mind boggling. I mean, just watching the fucking center and guard like kind of smack up against each other, and you have 3 Bears running untouched to Carson Wentz right away. It's like,
and they
come
stink.
on.
And they stink.
So I think it all boils down and works backwards with it. We have good skill positions. You can't deny that. We have really good skilled players. It's everything else. But that's where it stems from. Everything starts from the line on back. You can't block, you can't do shit.
No, but you got to do things so that they can block. You got to help them out. Move the pocket. All right, which I think that he's going to do this weekend with because he's got Heineke back there. Move the pocket.
Can move.
Stop trying to get big, fat, goofy ass fucking Andrew Norwell to step backwards and try to pass block. He's getting knocked over like he's one of them fucking kids punching dummies. Bam. It's ridiculous. It's like a comedy watching him out there play.
Yeah, you said it right. It is like a comedy watching these guys play sometimes.
It's ridiculous.
It does get quite laughable. But on the flip side, I do like what I have seen from the defense lately. At least, well, not necessarily like. I just think they've played better. All around, they played better. Yeah, Kendall Fuller still is. Jesus, come on, Kendall.
You know the answer for Kendall Fuller? F.A. Obata, go eat a quarterback. And I mean, seriously,
I love how Obata's been playing.
Take a bite out of Aaron Rodgers. Just take the 15-yard penalty. Just take a fucking bite out of him. Make them have to put stitches in him or something like that. And then have everybody else on the defense just stand around going, look, I'm sorry. We really don't know how to stop this guy. You know, we feed him his limited a little bit during the week, and then we let him out on game day.
You know, we've been playing better since whenever William Jackson III is not on the field. We tend the games that he hasn't played. The teams played better.
Yes.
I think St. Juice has really stepped up. I think he should be our CB1. To be honest with you, I think
he is.
Yeah, I think he's played very, very well this season. Of course, he's had some mistakes, but everybody does, especially when you're playing the cornerback. I like the way Jamin Davis has started to step up as well, too. He looks really quick. Doesn't look like he's thinking so much. He makes mistakes, yes, but he has played a hell of a lot better. Mm-hmm. And Cole Holcomb, fuck you. You still suck.
He's got a key on what Aaron Jones is. Aaron Jones is a bad dude, man. That guy can run. He can catch passes, and he's quick once he gets to the hole. So, he did okay, even though Derrick Henry still got 104 yards against him. He did okay, got a lot of tackles. So he needs to really step up, have himself a good game against Aaron Jones. We'll get to him on X Factors, I suppose. All right, so let me see. What else have I got? The seat cushions. Oh, my God.
Yeah,
the seat cushions. Look, I got to tell you, they went to the seat cushions and then they backed away from the seat cushions and said, let's give them out at the end of the game because we don't want anybody to get hurt. But their initial idea was to give everybody a pipe wrench. So at least they made it better.
I get what they're doing, and it's probably the smart thing to do because you might have seat cushions flying down at halftime at coaches and players and shit like that. And
they're seat cushions.
They're
wearing helmets. So what?
Look, I probably won't be getting a seat cushion since they're being handed out at the end of the game.
Yeah, you won't be there. No, you will be there. We're supposed to win, right? We're going to be shocked at your reasoning.
Nobody might not get a seat cushion. If we're getting absolutely hammered come the fourth quarter, there'll be like 60,000 spare seat cushions going because there'll be no one in the bloody stadium watching.
So that'll be Dan Snyder's new tactic. Yeah, we'll promise them something, and then we'll get blown out so we don't have to give it to them.
Look, they already got a lawsuit pending for that rail that fell, and you'll get some, probably jerk off from opposing team that gets hit with a coach or a water boy that gets hit with a seat cushion. And I get it. I think it's smart, actually. I think it's, you don't want the stupid ass cushions flying around because of being pissed off.
I got hit in the head with a piece of foam rubber and it hurt me while I was at a football game. I'm sorry. I'm going to sue the Washington Commanders.
I think it's good that they're trying to do. I mean, this is the problem, right? They're damned if they do, and they're damned if they
exactly.
Don't.
Look, I think seat is very appropriate. Everybody puts their ass all over.
But the thing is that you can see why they're doing it. We all know the story, the seat cushion story, against the Falcons. In the divisional playoff.
Yeah,
game.
And they're celebrating that year, and that's good, fine. But I get why they decided to do it in the game. I get it.
Yeah. I mean, did you guys hear? I only heard it today. I didn't hear it. I think I had 980 on today that Cooley's not going. Right, he's declined.
And you know what, man, that kind of irritates me. A lot of people are like, "Good for Cooley." This is about the fans, that voted in, and this is for the fans, and that kind of irritated me that that he, that he's not going because he's a fan favorite. He was a
I
fan
love
favorite
Cooley.
when he was here. Yeah,
I like Cooley now. I heard he was. If you have a chance this week, he was on John Keim. Listen to that episode.
I did. I already have, and I listened to
Great
him when he that quote that's going around.
But I also think,
and this is for the fans, man. It's not for the organization. This is
they,
for the fans.
they might have done him a little dirty. Remember, the last thing he was doing was walking around DC giving away free shit. That's what they had him doing, like he was some kind of intern boy.
I didn't know the coaching story though that they said on 980 today. They were talking about. I don't know if you guys listened to it.
No.
So this is via Cooley, and I think Al Gordy mentioned it on his podcast. So Ron Rivera wanted Chris Cooley to be part of his coaching team when he was originally appointed at the Redskins. He was all set. It was all done. He was going to be part of the coaching team. But then apparently, this is what Ron Rivera has said, allegedly happened. They reckon that Cooley started leaking the information about him coming to the team via the media, and Ron Rivera went, "No, we're not about that anymore. You're not joining my coaching side. You're not joining my coaching team."
Well,
yeah. So that's why it's all gone a bit sad. I only found that out today. I had 980 on this morning, and then I listened to Al Gordy's podcast this afternoon, and he said no way Cooley would have done that. Apparently, though, that's why Ron Rivera said, "Hey, look, if you're doing this, we don't want none of that in the organization." Obviously, he had only been there a few days. We're still the Redskins there, and he was trying to make an impression. But that is apparently why it's all gone a bit sour between Cooley and Ron and the organization.
Oh well, halftime's only 13 minutes. People will get over
it. Yeah. But like I said, this is about the fans and what he meant to them, not what he meant to this coaching staff. Now, this he has nothing to do with them. This is for the fans. So that kind of that bothered me some.
Let me ask you this then: if you have a chance this Sunday, will you hit Tanya Snyder with a seat cushion?
Not Tanya. No, I like Tanya.
Would you hit her in her seat cushion?
Well, all right. What's our next topic?
I have Tanya Snyder's seat cushion written down here.
Metaphors are not lost on this pod.
All right. Well, okay. Aaron Rodgers has a busted up thumb, right? How much is that going to affect things? He wasn't very good last week. They have a beat up offensive line. Our defensive front should feast.
Isn't he always on the injury report?
Who? Rodgers?
Yeah.
Not all. It's not like the Patriots. I mean, the Patriots, if a guy sneezes in August, he's fucking questionable for the rest of the season. So
I don't know. I mean,
but he has a bum thumb.
They're not playing well right now. And this is offense, defense, and special teams. Is it all from Devontae Adams? No, but he played a big role in that. Yeah, he played a big role in that. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is still going to make out. He's still going to get his plays, but if I was the defensive line, I'd be swatting at everything. If his thumb is really bothering him, hit it every time you get a chance.
I'm like, F.A. Obata, bite him on his fucking hand. Get down there in the pile and just.
This game can be had. I honestly think that if we can stop their running game, and their offensive line is terrible, fucking terrible.
Yeah.
If we can slow down with Aaron Jones and who's their other? They have another running back.
Oh, I forget his name
off the top of my head.
Hang on a minute.
But they don't have really much else as far as skill positions. Alan Lazard, are you scared of Lazard? Not me.
No, I'm not scared of Lazard, but I am starting him in my fantasy league. I'm starting both him and Terry.
Well, if Fuller's on Lazard, then you might be all right. But no, I think if we can score 24 points, we can win this game. Put to you that way.
24?
Yeah. If we can score 24 points, I think we can win this game.
Okay. I don't know about that. I think we're going to need closer to 30 because
I don't.
I do, because you know what? Regardless of his thumb, whatever, Aaron Rodgers knows how to put up points, and our team seems to not know how to stop points.
They haven't been putting up that many points though this year.
Look, this is Fuller back there. Our defense doesn't do things right. It's just the way it is. They'll find a way to stop it. They'll look out there. Aaron Rodgers will look at our defense at the snap and go, "Oh, I could go this way, that way, or that way."
Dylan. Dylan is the name of the running back. Thank you, Andy and Scott.
Scott.
So Scott put up a message earlier. Let me put that up. I started. Let's see.
By the way, here's Aaron Rodgers, everybody. We're back up with the Green Bay Packers.
Scott says, who do you think has to have a massive game for us to win on Sunday? Good
Obviously,
question, Scott.
It's Keith Gray, international television sensation. He's got to have a massive game on Sunday. He's got to be able to bring a Bleeding Burgundy podcast sign and hold it up when he is on international television.
That's true. I know, because he's on every game.
I say Brian Robinson, massive game.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think Terry. I think Terry needs to have a big game, and I think he's going to have it. I know Jair Alexander, the Packers' best defensive player. Last week, he trailed the Titans' #1 receiver and allowed no catches. Supposedly, he's supposed to trail
Lazard, who is their #1 receiver.
No, the Titans' #1 or the Jets' #1 receiver.
Okay,
and I think it was Corey Davis. I think possibly. But Terry's already he melted Alexander last year. He tore him up. Terry had a big game last year against the Packers.
Right.
It was Heineke's fault that we lost that game, if y'all remember correctly. But I think Terry's going to have a good game. I think he's going to have a big game. And I don't think Jair Alexander's. I think he's going to have a poor game.
Is that the game where Heineke threw it out of bounds on 4th down?
Or did that. I think he dove at the end zone and was like a half a yard short.
That's right. No, so I couldn't call that his fault.
There was nobody around him. It was his fault.
Yeah,
it was straight up his fault.
He took off and flew. All right. All right, so let's see. What about some X factors for the game this week? By the way, Andy, when you say your X factor, you have to give us an X factor theme song because I haven't written one yet. So we'll try with X factors. X factors. X factor. X factor theme song. There we go.
Yeah. See,
there we go.
For me, our offensive line, man, we need to do something. Like Jesse said earlier, you could throw all the preservatives you want out in the world. If we can't protect Heineke, and he keeps getting hit, then
he keeps getting hit. Is that what you said? All the big men are down there on the field laying on him. Lots of hard smashes.
I think they played this music in that second bar we went to on this Saturday night when Jesse and all them boys went home early. But
that's when Jesse took y'all to the White Swallow.
Yeah. No, I did. I nearly done such a rude joke then, but I didn't. But the offensive line have got to protect this boy. If we can't, this game will be over by halftime. I'm telling you now.
You're right. You're 100% right. And our buddy Scouse says the games are won in the trenches. And,
of course.
It starts with that offensive line.
He's not usually right, but he is.
Yeah, my X factor is this defensive line. I'll go on the other side. I think we got to get to Rodgers and keep banging on him, man. Just bang him and bang him and bang him.
Ooh. Banging and banging and
just
banging.
like we did Fields. I mean, Fields was he was slow to get up, man. He got it so good last Thursday.
They nailed Fields over and over and over.
They nailed him.
I'll tell you what.
Jesse, can you stop talking like that? I'm having flashbacks from when we roomed together.
All right, so
what about you?
I'll tell you what. There's one thing I forgot to bring up, and that was somebody had said something earlier in the show. I think it might have been you, Jesse, because I think you were the only one here that was with me. But about how other teams are going out and getting talent, right? You see the 49ers today trade for Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah,
okay. Now, we can sit here and debate whether that's a good trade or not. I think for them, it's terrible. They don't have a pick next year till the 5th round. Right, they've got everything tied up in Trey Lance and now Christian McCaffrey.
The Panthers made out on that trade big time.
Pick right, that's the whole thing. If they pick right, but yeah, I think that they did make a good trade. But see, when you look at Ron, the moves we made today.
Didn't we get Troy Apke back?
We brought Troy Apke back. There we go.
To
By
the
the way,
practice squad. Yeah, I think is Tariq Cohen or
Got
something.
called
Felix
up.
Cohen or
we brought up
something.
Yeah.
Kaliki Hudson.
Yeah,
Woo,
I mean,
boy,
it was just a practice squad replacement.
it doesn't make any difference. I said this on Twitter today. Ron Rivera is like my dog. He eats, he pukes, he eats the puke, he goes outside, he shits, he eats the shit, he comes back in and he pukes the shit. I clean up the shit before he can eat it again, which he will, and then he begs for more food so he can start the cycle all over again. By the way, 5-second film breakdown, number 1 for Troy Apke. Tell you what, if we see that man in the game ever this season, at that point, I hope Dan Snyder does fly his helicopter right down to the goddamn right at midfield of whatever stadium we're in the second he puts him in the game and fires Ron right on the spot and then flies away before they can get him for running over people with his helicopter.
Oh yeah, he won't see the field like Jesse said.
Yeah, no, I think this is a middle of the season. Might as well get somebody that already knows what's going on. This is for the scout team.
He's awesome though.
God, he's terrible.
Dude, he's awful.
So terrible.
Oh man.
I'll tell you what, one of the things, Andy, about the film breakdowns that we do here on the Bleeding Burgundy podcast, if you noticed, that we don't even need to talk about them. The film speaks for itself.
They speak for themselves.
Unfortunately, that's
He takes out Jonathan Allen on that.
Oh no,
He takes Allen out on that play.
Oh dear.
All right, so
you didn't give us your X factor. There,
you're right.
John.
I was going to do that. My X factor this week. It's got to be. I'm dead serious. I want F.A. Obata to do something to Aaron Rodgers.
He's been playing so well lately. The past few weeks, he's been on fire.
Yeah. We need a turnover like nobody's business. We got 2 turnovers last week. All right. We had 2 turnovers a week before, but we got them taken away on penalties. I want to see one of those good old gigantic arms come across Aaron's right around his shoulder and his head while his arm, and the ball goes smashing into the turf, and then Deron Payne can pick it up and run it for a touchdown. That's what we didn't show the Dax Milne shuffle? No, I didn't have that one. But I will show you Andrew Norwell.
Wentz in trouble, and he is sacked.
All right. So anyway, my X factor is Brian Robinson. He's got to have a big game. But that was also my answer to Scott, because now I'm all confused watching Troy Acme. Troy Acme.
Sorry, Scott. I guess John didn't load up your video.
Oh, I got Scott's video. There we go.
Looks like it's good.
He doesn't even just get juked. He gets juked, spun around. He's flying all over the place. I was looking through all of these videos of him screwing shit up this week, and the number of times he takes out his own players is mind-boggling. I still didn't give you my X factor, did I? It's got to be Taylor Heineke. The dude's got to have a good game. No mistakes. No mistakes.
Yeah, he's got them. What he threw 16 interceptions last year.
Don't even say it. God damn it! You put that stuff out into space like that. Why do you?
I'll give him one. That's it. You can have one
No.
fumble or interception. That's it.
Right.
If he does any more than that, then I'm done with them. Then I'll put Sam Howell in.
I know he's listening, and I know he's watching, and I'm going to tell you right now, that does not go for me, Taylor Heineke. None. You understand that? What about you, Andy, from all the way across in the UK? Do you have anything you want to say to Taylor Heineke? We know he's on.
Yeah, I would play Sam Howell anyway. I'm in the.
You're in that camp. You're in that camp. Jeez,
you can't do that.
Sorry. Yeah, I'd play Howell anyway.
Well, for one, the season's not over, and they're not going to act like it is until it is. And two, Chris Cooley made a good point. You listen to that show. To me, that was the best point that he made, is that if you do that, you're signaling to everybody
you're done.
Not that you're done, but they're all independent contractors, so to speak. even if in a loss, if they put good film out there, it's a positive thing for them. So they're always going to keep trying. So, I always think that these people that talk about tanking, you don't realize the message that sends around the league. You think it's hard to get people to come here and play for Dan Snyder, for God's sakes? Try to go ahead and tell them, yeah, you come here and play for Dan Snyder and we'll wreck your career.
Yeah, I will always want to win the game. I don't give a shit about draft position, especially this early in the season.
I mean, I'll always want to win.
If now we get to week 14 when we play the Texans, and we're out of it. There you go. Put Sam Howell on. Let's see what the kid has. Yeah. But right now, it's just way, way, way too early. If we win. If we pull a rabbit out of the hat this week and next week, we're right back in it. We're only like one game out of the damn NFC wild card race right now.
Yeah. We would need a lot of things to fall our way, like
other
teams' defenses.
But I'm just saying that it's just too early to be able to. All right, let's see what the rookies got. And I did listen to that podcast in what Cooley said, and he was absolutely right. These teams, these are pros. They're out to win. They want to play the best they can, even if they are only on a 1-year contract. They're still playing for other teams. That's right. They're playing for their next contract.
Right. A lot of people, I think that they look at it as if this is their job at McDonald's. And you would walk out because Mr. Peterson made you come in on Saturday night. But these guys won't. They're not. They're not hourly workers like a lot.
I
of people
do get wanting to see what Sam Howell has. I definitely get that. Vince, I want to see what he's got too. Is he the quarterback of the future? Probably not, but you never know. You never know.
It's a quandary, right? To me, it's a quandary because is Ron the coach of the future? All right. If Ron goes 5-12, I think firing him is on the table, and I think it would be justified. And at that point, do you want to give the next coach, oh, by the way, here's the quarterback we drafted in the 5th round. He's your guy. Or, I mean, what do you do? I guess if you're 5-12, you have a decent enough draft pick that you let the new guy. You get that seems to be one of the biggest keys. You get the new coach and you get the new quarterback, but not a recycled retread. You got to get them matched up. Once you get the quarterback,
you're going to have to blow up the team. And John, you brought up a good point. Ron right now, he's coaching for his job. So he's going to try to he's going to put in the quarterback that gives him the best chance. If Heineke goes out there and say goes 3-1, if say Wentz is out for 4 games, if Heineke goes out there and goes 3-1, you think Wentz comes back?
If he does, you should fire Ron Rivera on the spot.
Probably not. That's tough. That's a tough question to answer.
Traditionally, the starter doesn't lose his job to injury, and Ron is traditional as a coach.
But Ron's going to do, because you can cut Wentz at the end of this year. You've already paid him the $28 million. That's it.
That's it. Zero cap hit.
So Ron's going to do what puts wins on the table.
Don't worry, this team ain't going 3-1.
So how? It's hypothetical. You're probably right. You're probably 90. There's a 98.8% chance that you are right, Andy. But
they need to show us something.
The 1.2% chance that you're wrong.
Good math.
I had to think there for a second.
I saw the cogs going in his head.
Last year we had simple math. Now we're on the basic percentages, the basic decimal points.
So if you're wrong, and he does, that's something that this coaching staff is going to be like, okay, let's put the film, let's watch the film of these two quarterbacks, and let's see what's the fuck's going on here. They have a decision to make. And I think
could you imagine what the fans go? Say we do go 3-1.
Social media
but say he does bench Heineke. You're like, when he has the chance to do a good decision, and he screws that up, then you're just.
We all know, and yes, there is some crazy idiots out there that think Heineke's the future quarterback.
But what if
he's not?
I know
he's not. He's not
playing devil's advocate.
But
kind of like that.
You got to, especially if he's coaching for his job, you have to put the person out there that gives you the best chance to win.
That's right. So let's hope Taylor Heineke gets a lot of attaboy. Yeah, a lot of those.
Yeah.
All right, what do we got
until
left?
we're out of the playoffs, we're not going to see Sam Howell. Once we're eliminated, then yes, you absolutely put him in.
I think so, and I think that's wise. So what do we got left? Anything left? You got any final thoughts? What do you think, Andy? We going to win?
Yeah. Do you know what? I say this every week. People must think I'm batshit crazy. But yeah, do you know what? I think, like Jesse said at the start of the show, I think Heineke will give us that injection for this game. And this game alone, maybe we could ride it into next week. I think he'll scramble. I think he'll get us a couple of touchdowns himself in the red zone. I think he'll give us something. I don't think it's going to be the prettiest of games. I think it could be it could be a very tight game score-wise. But yeah, do you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, I think we win.
You know, and that's another thing too about Taylor Heineke. He's good in spurts. Okay, he's good at a few games at a time, and that's another thing you got to keep in mind. If he does win a couple games when Carson Wentz is healthy again, is he going to keep that up? Because he didn't last year. He played good games in spurts, very few.
Yeah.
But the rest of them, people might not have a real good memory. I've seen a lot of people that think, that Heineke's going to turn the season around, and they're forgetting what they saw last.
They've been believing that since they since they saw that Tampa Bay Buccaneers game in the playoffs. They've been thinking he's the savior.
You got to think. I do think that we are somehow, some way going to nudge out a win on Sunday.
Give me a score.
I'm going to say 23-18.
Okay. That seems kind of strange. I'm going to say that we also go ahead and get a win. I think Aaron Rodgers' thumb is going to find F.A.O. Bada, and F.A.O. Bada is going to bite him because he's listening to this show right now. He hears me, and he says, that sounds like a good idea. So, dude, just remember, spit out whatever you get. Get rid of the evidence.
Scouse, you're absolutely right.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And yeah, teams do rise to them because they know that they're backup and they know that they've got to protect them a little bit so that they do come up for them. And I think that they'll do that again. And I think that we're going to see an output that we have not yet seen this year. And we're going to get 30 points. And I think we're going to win 30-26.
Jeez.
30 points. 2 touchdowns from Brian.
I think the offense is going to be better, but I'm not sure if it's going to be 30 points. Remember. Hey, but if John's right, I'll give him. I will go to Maryland and give him an attaboy.
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 Tell you what, gotta watch where your fingers go. Because I would say,
What the fuck was that? What the fuck is that? What the hell was that? What the hell was that?
attaboy. All right. So okay. So what do we got left? Anything? Got anything left?
Andy, what do you guys got over the command bunker? What do you guys got coming?
We will be back on Sunday with our post game talking about our victory over the Green Bay Packers. Freddie might have his voice back this week, so he might be back on the episode. But yeah, we'll be dropping a show on Sunday, my friend, and come and listen if you want. If you don't, I don't really care.
Everybody, come and listen. Come and listen, because we will all be in a great mood because we will be smacking around the Packers 30-26.
Oh, yeah. If we score
no scouts, your messages are getting played too.
Oh, jeez. Listen,
my God.
You guys got to hang out with international star Keith Gray, so I don't want to hear any of that bickering. All right, so tomorrow we're going to be here at 4:00 in the afternoon Eastern time, and I will believe we will be here with Scotty.
Blah, 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 blah. What was that?
Oh, is it doing it again? It finally did it?
No,
right.
That was your mouth.
Tomorrow afternoon at 4:00, me and Jesse are going to get together with this guy. And we are going to pick some NFL games and have some fun goofing around with that. And I always get a kick because I don't like to make fun of Scotty because I hope Scotty understands the joke because Scott, when I was a kid, man, the way that we had fun was we stood around and basically insulted each other to the point where we could make each other cry. If I could make you cry, I was laughing so hard. If somebody looked at me and said, "Fuck you, John," that was the biggest, oh God, that was like the most delicious thing. So when I say that it's fun because I look at you and I see that little bit of hair that you have up on top of your head, it looks like you got a little hamburger bun up there. I just think it's funny looking. Don't take offense to it. You can make fun of my head all you want. I get a kick out of
At
it.
least he has a hamburger head up there. He ain't got shit.
This little pillbox hat he's got way back here. Watch, he's gonna do something with his hair different.
I think it's
He's probably not even watching that. He's probably in the bathroom having his
No.
10th shit of the day.
no, he's watching. But I think he had just gotten a haircut, and I think the way his camera was positioned looked like he had a 10 head instead of a 4 head. So.
All right, we will be back again tomorrow afternoon at 4:00. Andy, I'm gonna have to make you something for next time you come on.
Oh, you know you've made it when that happens. If you can't laugh at yourself, then who the fuck can you laugh at?
That's what I said.
True.
All right, then we will see you all tomorrow afternoon at 4:00, gentlemen. And thank you very much, Andy, for showing up. And everybody go listen to the Command Bunker podcast, and we'll see him on Sunday post game.
Left middle finger up.
Left middle finger up.
All right,
Commanders. Bye.
later.